Hello, in this video we are going to create a very basic workflow in KNIME Analytics Platform. Basically we will upload some data, then we will do a projection with choosing some columns, then we will filter some rows, and finally we will make some visualizations, for example a bar chart, pie chart, and scatter plot. So I will delete everything, all the nodes here, to start from scratch. So the first thing that we need to do is to upload the data. So we are going to use the CSV node, the CSV reader node. So I choose that, and now I will choose the local file system. So the file is over here, I guess. Let me look for it. Here it is. So we choose the file. Just checking the settings. This is a CSV file, so the separator or the delimiter is the comma character. Okay, apply and execute. So we have the information here. It basically is information about employees in some company. We have the information about gender, the age, and some other columns with different kind of information about the employees in a company. So the data is being here. You can also see some statistics about the data here in this option. For example, we can see that the age has 412 missing values. That will be important because now we are going to try to do some aggregation with the data. For example, the number of employees with the female gender and the number of employees with the male gender, and the average age of the employees. So next step is to do some aggregations. The first thing that we need to do is just to choose the columns that we are going to use. We are going to use the column gender and we are going to use the column age. So for that, we will use the column filter node, which is this. So here we will select rows here. So just let me move everything about the excludes lists, and we will add just the employee ID, the gender, and the age. Apply and execute. And if you see here in this table, we only have the employee ID, the gender, and the age. We can confirm that in the statistics tab. And we just have these three columns, as this is like a projection of all data. Okay. Okay. Now we will try to identify how many male and how many females are in the list of employees. And for that, we are going to use the aggregator node, the row aggregator node. And for that, the category will be, in this case, the gender. It will be the count, okay? And that will be it. We apply and execute. And we have that for female, we have like 4,114 women. And for the male, we have the 2,886. So as easy as that, just to use the nodes. But in the case, if we go back here and go back to statistics, we will notice that in the case of the age, we have 412 missing values. So for that, we will need to first, we have several options, but we will need to make some treatment for the missing values. So we will use the missing value node. We need to add some treatment. In this case, it won't be the employee ID. We need to erase this. It will be the age. And if the value is missing, what are we going to do? We can do nothing, and we can fix the value with some specific value. We can choose the mean, the maximum, the median, but in our case, we are going to remove the rows. We are not going to consider rows which doesn't have age. Okay, if the age is missing, we are going to remove that row. So if you notice here, the number of rows are 7,000, but if you come back here, there are less rows. There are only 6,588 rows. Okay. These rows, if we go back to statistics, there is no missing values here for the age. So we are able to calculate the average. For that, we are going to use also the row aggregator node. In this case, the column will be the age, and we are going to calculate the average. Now, sorry, I made a mistake here because there is no category. None. There is no category because we need to know the average age of all employees. So there is no category. We'll just calculate the average. And that's it. So the average age of the employees is 39 years old, approximately. And now we are going to move to visualizations. In case of the number of female and male employees, we can use the bar chart, for example, like here, and just execute this one. And in this, we have the female and the male employees here. We can also see this in the new window, so we can see better the quantity of female and male employees. But we can also use pie chart visualization. Execute it. And that's even better, I think, for this kind of visualization. Pie chart works better. We can make some customization here. For example, the title. You can see gender, employees by gender. It will change the title here. We can also include both the value and the category. We can say that the value is the absolute value or the proportion, it means the percentage. I think it's better that way. So we can apply that. And in the case of the average of age, we don't have really much to present as this is just one number. But for example, we can use the scatter plot visualization to check the age of all employees and how that is distributed. We can change also the title. We can say the age of employees and execute. And we have this thing, this distribution of the age of the employees. It's around 20 years until 65 years approximately. We can also play some with reference lines. For example, we can put the average here. The value of the average is 39.6, and this could be the average. It will be a red line, and that will be it. Apply it, and as you can see, let me show this in a new window. This line appears here, which is the average. It's almost close to 40 years old. And that will be it. So basically, we load some data, we do some projections with selecting the columns that we need to process the information. We use the row aggregator node, and we also use the missing value node, and some visualizations like bar chart, pie chart, and scatter plot.